Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, and in today's video I thought maybe I could do a makeup look, mainly focusing on the eye area. Just gonna create an eyeshadow look. This is an eyeshadow look that I do mainly when I go out, whether I go to a party or like an event or anything like that. This is usually the eye look that I go for, and I'm gonna be using the Jackie Aina Anastasia Beverly Hills collaboration that she had. It came out last year. This is definitely one of my favorite palettes. I am actually a huge fan of Jackie Aina. She is following me on Twitter. Anyway, I'm just really excited about these things. But anyway, so just a disclaimer, I am not a makeup artist in any way, shape, or form. I'm not like a makeup guru or anything like that. This is just me showing how I do my makeup. I don't think there's any rules to makeup, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just show you guys on the makeup look. So this is the palette. This is what it looks like. I really like the neutral colors on this palette, so I'm gonna be mainly focusing on these shades right here. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the makeup look. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna start with priming my eyes. This brand has really soft formula, meaning there's a lot of fallout. So when I use this palette, I usually like to do my eyes first before I do my base, okay, to avoid any fallout and messiness on the under eye area. So I'm gonna go ahead and begin, and I'm gonna use my Benefit Boing concealer. I'm gonna use this as my as a primer for my eyelids. This is my favorite concealer. I really like it a lot, especially on the under eye area or the eye, the lid area. I really like using this. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply this on my eye real quick. And I'm gonna go ahead and use a beauty blender to blend out the eye. This is what the beauty blender looks like, and I'm gonna go ahead and just blend the eye area. So I'm gonna go ahead and just blend out the eye real quick. Just gonna apply the concealer all over my eyelid. I like using a beauty blender for this. It's just so much easier to apply rather than using a brush. This is really easy. Just gonna get in close right now and show you what that looks like. So this is it. I usually use concealer that is closest to my skin shade. I don't like using lighter concealer. I don't use concealer to brighten my under eye or on my eyelids. It's just not something that I like to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and begin the eye look. You can take any brush, any blending brush. I'm gonna use this one. This is Morphe and Jeffree Star. I don't really support Jeffree Star, to be honest, but this is what I have on hand. So I'm just gonna use this one. Here's what it looks like. And I'm gonna go in with the shade Ginger. Okay, this color right here, Ginger, is going to be my transition shade. I'm gonna use this as a transition between on this area right here. Okay, so what I like to do is that I like to put a little bit on the brush, and then I tap up the excess, because if you use too much, it could create a mess, and then you have to sit and blend it. And whereas you can use a little bit of the product and build it up, it just is better that way. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it on the lid as a transition. What I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna take a little bit more and again tap up the excess and go back in. The blendability on this eyeshadow palette is actually really good, so you don't really have to blend too much. I like to blend just to get a more of a seamless transition. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I do have hooded eyes, so you know, I do have to keep the shade a little bit higher. I have to create a fake crease type thing, like I have to, you know, right here I have to kind of go higher than a normal person would, because you can't really see. So I do, you know, just go a little bit higher right here. Okay, so this is how I do it so that the transition shade is seen. Okay, alright. So for the next shade, I'm gonna go in with the shade Edges, which is this shade right here. Okay, this is the shade Edges, and I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use my Sigma brushes, my Sigma brush E25. This is what it looks like. Okay, it's like a blending brush, and I'm gonna use Edges on the outer corner. Okay, I'm gonna bring it in, so I'm just gonna put a little bit on the brush. Remember, less is more. Okay, it's better to build up the shades than go in heavy. Okay, so you're just gonna tap up the excess and just gonna go onto the, I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it right here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and just lightly blend right here. Okay, I'm gonna go in with a little bit more with the shade Edges, and I'm just gonna So this is what it looks like. Now you can definitely go back with a clean brush and just blend this area so that it doesn't look so harsh. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a clean brush. This is from Morphe. There's no number on it. I don't even know what type of brush this is, but I'm just gonna go in with this brush and I'm just gonna blend out right here so that the shade Ginger and Edges can kind of blend in together beautifully. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit more of Edges. I'm just gonna put it a little bit, you know, a little bit in the center of the lid, right here. Gonna blend it a little bit. You can definitely go in with a darker shade to darken up the outer lid right here. I'm probably gonna add a little bit of the shade Credit, which is this brown right here. It's a brown with maybe like a little bit of a red undertone, so I'm just gonna use a little bit of it to darken up this area right here, just to provide a little bit of more of a like a little bit of an intense look. So same brush, okay, and I'm just gonna tap a little bit into the shade Credit. I'm just gonna tap off the excess a little bit, and I'm just gonna go in here and I'm just gonna darken up this area right here, just a little bit. Okay, just a little bit. That actually came out really nice. There it is. This is what it's looking like. Now I'm gonna go in with a bigger brush, the Sigma brush E35, and I'm just gonna blend this area just a little bit, Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to go into Ginger, which is the transition shade that we used in the very first shade that we used. Just a little bit. And what it's going to do is that it's going to help us blend the brown a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead and just right here on the edge, I'm just going to go ahead and blend right on the edge of that brown. Okay? Just going to go in and just blend a little bit. Okay, so that's looking a lot better. Okay. Okay, so this is what it's looking like, and that actually looks really, really nice. Once I'm applying my foundation and my concealer, I'm definitely gonna just, you know, use that to just, you know, clean this area right here. I'm just gonna bring it up a little bit because I don't have tape on hand to give me that, you know, pulled back eyeshadow look. But this looks really nice so far. I mean, you know, the brown is not too dark, which is what I like. I don't like when it's too dark on the outer corner. I just don't like the way that it looks, at least on me. Also because I'm not too professional. I don't know how to use these shades that well, and also because I have a hard time blending my outer corner for whatever reason. The shadows a lot of the time just tend to stick. I don't know why it happens. So I try to stay on the, you know, I try to use a little bit of a darker shade, nothing too crazy or heavy, because I'm just, you know, scared that it's not gonna blend. But if you guys like a little bit more of an intense look, you guys, you know, can definitely use a dark shade to kind of darken up the outer corner, the outer the outer lid. Okay. All right. Now, what I like to do for the inner lid area, I actually love to use a shimmer shade. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the shade Zam right here, this shade right here. It is such a beautiful shade. It's so pretty. The only thing is that it's really flaky, so like when you apply it, it starts falling into the you know, onto the skin right here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use my finger to apply it, but I'm gonna wet my finger just a little bit so that it'll stop the shimmers from falling a little bit. Okay, so I'm just gonna go with my finger right here, and I'm just gonna grab the shade Zam, okay, right here, and I'm gonna use my my favorite setting spray by Urban Decay, the All Nighter. Just gonna boop, 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 so just a couple of times, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply the shade on my lid. So I'm just gonna go in with the shade Zam, okay, and I'm just gonna apply it on the lid area, the inner lid. You can use a brush to apply this. I don't like using a brush. I don't think that applying shimmer shades with a brush performs the same way as applying it with your finger. You can definitely wet the brush and apply. I'm actually gonna do that because I do have long nails, so I cannot, you know, apply it right here. So I am gonna use a brush to apply the shimmer shade Zam into the inner, the very inside of the lid. But for the most part, I use my finger to apply the, you know, the shimmer shade, you know, onto the lid right here. Okay, so this is what it looks like right here. That's really pretty, actually. Wow, that came out really nice. Alright, so I'm gonna go in with this brush right now. This is like from one of my Naked palettes that I've had many years ago. I really like this brush, especially because of this. I like using this to apply the shimmer shade into the very end of my eye, so because I cannot do it with my finger. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just apply it using that brush. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is that I'm going to wet the brush with my Urban Decay All Nighter, and I'm just gonna wet the brush a couple of times, and now I'm gonna apply it here. You can also use a little bit of water, just a tap, like just dip and that's it. But for the most part, I use my setting spray. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it right here. And there you go. Now notice how there is a little bit of fallout. You see, like there's a fallout over here, which is why I like to do my eyeshadow first before doing the base. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm quickly going to do this eye, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back, and this is what my eyes are looking like. Okay, this is the end product. Okay, I would also recommend, like, when you're doing your eyes, just make sure that you're blending, blend, you know, until you get that blendability that you like. I blended as much as I could, and it seems to be really nice. It seems to be like very like blended and really nice, so I really like it. So now that we're done with the eyes, let's go ahead and do our face real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my primers. Okay, so all the products that I'm using today are products that I've been using for a while, so I like them a lot. I know how they perform, and I just like them a lot. So I'm gonna go in first with my Touch in Sol nor Poreblem primer. Okay, I'm gonna start with this, and I'm gonna apply that mainly in the T-zone area. So I'm going to use this mainly in the T-zone area. This is what it looks like. Okay, I'm just going to go in like that, and I'm just going to apply it on my nose. I'm just going to apply some here and bring it up. I really like this primer because it, you know, blurs out all, like, everything. It blurs out all of the imperfection. Okay, it does have a little bit of an oily consistency, but it's not going to make you look oil or anything. Plus it smells really nice. It has like a really soft smell to it. And then I'm gonna go in with my Tatcha the Silk Canvas primer. Just gonna go in with that, and then I'm just gonna put a little bit of it. I'm just gonna go a little bit like that. Just gonna grab as much as I can, trying not to get it under my nails. And I'm just gonna apply it everywhere else. For my foundation, I'm actually gonna go with the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I'm gonna go in with the shade Warm Nude. I'm just gonna put some on my arm. So because I do have acne, and I do have a lot of scarring from the acne on my face, one pump of foundation is usually not enough, so I try to go in with 2 pumps, and then I'm gonna go in with my IT Cosmetics you know, brush. There's no number on it. Oh, actually, it's actually the number 110, and it's like a bookie brush, and I really like it. I really like how bulky it is. It doesn't leave streaks on the face at all, so I just really like it. It's a really nice brush. I'm just gonna go in, and I'm just gonna start applying it everywhere. Okay, so we're back. Sorry, we had a problem, but we are back now. Okay, so like I said, I like using this brush. It doesn't leave streaks on my face or anything, and it just blends really nicely. So I'm going in with my Born This Way foundation by Too Faced, and I'm just gonna start applying this foundation everywhere. I really like this this foundation, but it seems to be a little bit light on me. I don't know, but I still really like it. I still really like it a lot. So just make sure that you bring it down to your neck when you're blending. Sometimes the foundation that you're using is a little too light or a little bit too dark. Just want to make sure you bring it down, because you definitely want your face to match your neck. You don't want the neck and the face to have 2 different shades. It's gonna just look weird. I'm just gonna put in another pump of the foundation just gonna apply it. I like this foundation also, I'll tell you, because of the fact that it's not drying. It does have a matte finish, but it doesn't feel like it's drying out your skin or anything like that. So it's just overall feels really nice. Looks also natural on the skin. It doesn't look like you have makeup. Like you don't look like you have makeup on. Like you don't look like, yeah. It just looks fine. It doesn't look cakey in any way, shape, or form. It just looks really, really pretty on the skin. And what I also like to do is that I like to go in with my setting spray, and I'm just gonna spray a little bit as I finish blending. It just, when you blend out the foundation, it just kind of makes it really pretty. So there it is. I also like to go in with the beauty blender just to kind of like touch up everything, make sure that in the event that it did leave streaks on the face, it kind of like removes it. Okay. Alright. So now we're gonna go with the Benefit Boing concealer again, and I'm going to conceal my under eye. Just gonna go in. So I'm just gonna like apply a little bit. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply on this side now. Now when it comes to blending the under eyes, I'm gonna use my beauty blender to blend out the concealer. I really like this concealer. It literally sets itself. You don't really have to set your under eye. Because this pretty much sets itself. That's the whole point of this concealer, that it's, you know, you don't need to set it. I set the concealer because I do have a little bit of creasing, and so if I don't set it with a powder, it starts to crease everywhere and it just doesn't look nice. But if you don't have that problem, then you technically don't have to set it at all. Now, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go ahead and just set my under eyes, and I'm gonna set this area a little bit with my translucent powder. And the powder that I'm going to be using is the Pretty Vulgar translucent setting powder. I really like this. It doesn't give you flashback when you take a photo. It doesn't make you look cakey. It doesn't make you look dry in any way. It's overall a really, really beautiful setting powder. So I'm just going to go ahead and use it to set. Now, to not overdo it with the powder, I'm just going to go ahead and just tap it off on my hand just a little bit, just like that. See? Look at all that. Because you don't need too much of the powder unless you have really oily skin, but even then I wouldn't recommend you guys to use a lot of it. I have oily skin. Don't do it. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and set the under eye. Gonna use a little bit more. So this is what it's looking like. I'm just gonna get a little bit closer so you can see what it's looking like so far. Look at that. You see, I look really nice. Like, look at that. Now I'm gonna go with my Fenty Beauty bronzer. Actually, really like this bronzer. In the shade Private Island. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and provide my skin some. My nail just dipped into it. That is annoying. That is really annoying. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my brush here. This is the Luxie small contouring brush, so I'm just gonna use it to bronze my face. Okay, so that's looking really nice. I also like to provide a little bit of warmth on the forehead area. I'm just gonna go ahead and just gonna just put a little bit of it. And a little bit on the jawline. So what it's looking like so far. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with my Alamar Cosmetics. I'm going in with my Alamar Cosmetics. It's called the Colorete Blush Trio. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use these two shades right here, these two shades, and I'm gonna lightly tap into both, and I'm just gonna tap up the excess. I'm just gonna put a little bit right here. Okay, if you feel like you put a little bit of too much blush on your cheeks, what you can do is that you can go in with a beauty blender, and then with whatever product that's left, you can just kind of use it to blend it out. And it really, like, you know, it takes away the too much of the product. Like, it kind of blends it out really nicely all over the skin. And now this is my favorite part of the look. Every single time I do makeup, I cannot wait to do this part because it's just my absolute favorite, and that is the highlight. I love a good highlighter, and this bad girl right here, the Benefit Cookie, this is such an intense highlighter. Oh my goodness, it is so, first of all, it's beautiful. It's really nice. This is what it looks like. Look at that. That is such a beautiful highlighter, and I really like to have an intense highlight, so I do tend to wet the highlighter a little bit before I apply it on the cheeks, but I'm not gonna do that today. Today I'm gonna go a little bit less sparkly and shiny, so I'm just gonna go in with this brush, and I'm just gonna tap off the excess because you don't want to overdo it, and you're just gonna apply it right here. Look at that. Look at that highlight. Doesn't that look so pretty? Oh my god, I love highlight. I just love it. I love a good highlight. So this is it. Okay, so just go ahead and apply it. Oh god, it's so pretty. It's such a beautiful highlight. And I'm just gonna put a little bit on the nose right here. I don't know if you can see that. You can a little bit. Look at that. And I'm gonna apply a little bit right here. So this is it. The Benefit Cookie. It's beautiful. You will, if you purchase it, I tell you, you will not regret it. And last but not least, I'm gonna go in with this brand called Cobb in the shade Charming. I wasn't able to find this anywhere. This was given to me at a BoxyCharm that I got the last week. So this is what it looks like, and this shade is right up my alley. I love these types of shades, like these berry-ish looking colors. I love it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply some. So now I'm gonna go in with my with this mascara. This is from Fenty Beauty in the shade "Cause I'm Black," and I really like this mascara. But my favorite mascara would be the Better Than Sex by Too Faced. That one's my favorite. But I'm using what I have on hand, and this is actually not a bad mascara either. Wow, look at that. That is beautiful. Wow, that really made my eyelashes long. Love it. Wow, that's really pretty. I really like that. Wow. Okay. So now that I have my mascara on, God girl, get it together. I cannot speak today. I'm gonna go in with my eyeliner, which is from Marc Jacobs. I really like this one. This one is really good because it doesn't bleed all over the place. Okay, so when you apply it, it stays in place. It doesn't. You won't find it here ever. Like it's a really beautiful eyeliner. It's creamy. It applies well, and it's like a true black, which is what I like. Go ahead and apply it. Excuse me. With this, I'm gonna go ahead and apply it. I'm just gonna go in like this, and so this is the final look. This is what it's looking like. This is my go-to makeup look when I go out. It actually came out really nice today. It's really beautiful. And last but not least, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off with the All Nighter by Urban Decay. This is the setting spray. Excuse me. And I'm just gonna just let that sink into the skin. You can also go in with your beauty blender and kind of like, you know, just go over it like that. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. Please definitely subscribe to my channel and like it if you like the content. And I thank you so much for being here, and have a good day. Cut it out. How am I supposed to?
You have to wait.
Sorry about that technical difficulties, but we are back.